And welcome to Duke's United show. I'm Garth Lewis, host, and with me as always, the Tower of Power himself, the Duke, Nathan Ellerton. How are we doing this morning, mate? Big 3
I'm
points.
happy, man. I'm happy. I'm happy we got the 3 points. That's really all that matters at the moment. While things are the way they are, I just want to be able to get 3 points on the table. And we did. So, can't be happier, to be fair. I was expecting a loss. So, yeah.
Well, you might answer the first question. That's what I was going to say. I see a lot of people on the socials complaining about the performance itself, but surely the 3 points are what matters when a team's down. So let me put it to you this way. In your playing days, would you be happy coming off the field with them 3 points, no matter what the performance was? No goals for yourself up front, you know what I mean? For the team, 3 points are what matters.
When you see how depleted our squad is, you can't help but understand that, listen, there's times where you just need 3 points. And let's say you're going to win a championship or whatever it is, I think everyone would be happy getting them 3 points and not caring what the score or how we played or anything like that. At the moment, we're not that kind of team. Saying that, though, I was upset with a few things. Obviously, we watch the games and stuff and we say, right, how is it that teams like Burnley can have 63% of the ball? That's my thing. How can they have 63% of the ball, even though they don't have the firepower that we have? They have the ability to keep it at the back, move it through the lines, and then have nothing. Well, why can't we keep it at the back, move it through the lines, and we actually have something? Why is it we don't have the other side? It seems like the other side is the easier part to get because every team that's trying to play like that is playing like that apart from us. We ain't got no legs. That's one of the things I'm a little bit worried about.
No, yeah, this is where I was going to get into the negative. Let's start with the negative straight away. No, I don't know because there's let me rephrase. There's very little positives from that game apart from the 3 points. In reality, a lovely goal from Bruno, but it's moments FC again. In my opinion, we didn't deserve the 3 points. I know that's a silly thing to say, but Burnley would be coming away from that, in my opinion, feeling like they should have got something from that game. Would you agree there that Burnley probably should have come away with something?
Yeah, well, look, they hit the post. They had some great play there, keeping the ball, making us run everywhere. If that just 1 inch to the left, obviously it's inches again, but they deserve something like that from the good play that they had, from the possession that they had, causing us to try and press them and then popping it through us. They were playing their game. They were doing what they're meant to do. It's just that they don't have enough yet to be that team that really cleans up when they create them chances. And that's the difference with the top teams and the teams that they're going to be. That's what I'm saying. I don't expect them to be up there, is because their ability to probably finish things off or having that sharp shooter at the other end who's going to get you 15, 20 goals. They have everything else. They're playing great football. Probably are going to concede the odd few goals as well. But the football they're playing, man, every Burnley supporter must be loving that, because the way they used to play compared to now, they must be watching every game going, I don't care. This is just amazing. So,
So what, because it's a very hard question to answer, really, but where are we lacking? Because I agree with you entirely. I don't understand where, our passing isn't crisp. We don't seem to have the legs on the field. Is this a training thing, or is this a player mentality thing, in your opinion? Obviously, you can't say you're not in there, but where are we going wrong, in your opinion? Because we are not cohesive anywhere on the field, it feels like.
From watching it, it looks like we just don't have the type of players you need to actually be robust defensively and actually be able to move it quickly and get across the pitch quickly and then burst into areas. It's like we go on the attack. We've only really got Rashford. I'm not seeing much of Højlund yet, so I'm not going to say too much. But at the moment, pace that we've got is just Rashford and a bit of pace from Højlund, of course. He runs people down and chases people down. But I want to see him in behind where people are chasing him, not he's chasing people, So if he gets to do that more, then we'll have 2 outlets. But at the time yesterday, it looked like it was just him being the one outlet of pace, where even when you look at Burnley, that winger was ridiculous pace. Like he had a Dalot on toast. He made him get yellow early. And that's what teams need, isn't it? They need to have a number of outlets of pace. And if we can get 3 or 4 players with pace on the pitch at the same time, without losing the ability to defend, without losing, everything else, then we'll be all right. It's just we have the wrong combination. Like, you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. The top players, they have that other side to them and they can do the great stuff. But at the moment, we seem to be buying players that can do one thing and not the other. It goes all the way through the squad. Everyone, but we were talked about yesterday. I know we disagree on a few little bits and pieces, but the point of the matter is we don't have goals from fullbacks that we say, wow, 10, 15 goals a season from players getting in behind and whipping balls in for fun. We don't have goals from attacking wingers. They're not the... Okay, you've got Rashford who scores his goals and makes the assist, but when I'm watching, it's not like a striker's dream to play with Rashford, for example. It's not a striker's dream to play with Anthony. It's okay. We're gonna get amazing amount of goals from Rashford and some assists, but again, it's just like it's off the cuff football, and I feel like we just don't have that. We lost Fred. Fred was a player who has the legs, but then doesn't have the quality. And then you have McTominay. He has the quality. He has the strength to stop people and to get about and stop everyone. Then he doesn't have the quality to pop the ball around. We could even argue some people get upset with the way Bruno keeps the ball under high pressure. He doesn't really keep the ball as well, although he can assist well. Then you've got people like Eriksen who's got no legs left, got great brain, but no legs left. Now, Casemiro's in the same category now. Got no legs left, great brain. So you need to have legs and great brain. It's simple as So I don't know.
I'll get on the because I was going to ask you about a few individual players, and especially Rashford. We're going to do in a second. But Curtis afternoon, mate, always in the chat for us. Afternoon, not the best game last night. I think we both agree there, but there were some good bits. Hannibal and Evans stood tall, but before we rip United to bits, we are down to bare bones with injuries at the moment.
Yes, exactly.
So I'll get individual players in the mix. I thought Hannibal and Evans done well. The bare bones bit, how much is this affecting us? Do you think that we're missing at least, I'd say, 4 key players in this team, let alone the fact we've got 13 injuries? Should we be worried about this, or should we have a good enough squad to cope with this amount of injuries?
I don't think anyone really can have that good a squad to be able to cope with this amount of injury. I don't think anyone else that I know is gonna. Any other team that I'm looking at or thinking about has got the amount of injuries to so many key players. And, you know, the amount of players that we have that are out, even though they're not starting, we're like, we need them to start. Like us as fans, we want them players to start. So they may not be starters for Ten Hag, but it's like, bloody hell, we need, for example, Amad Diallo. We want to see him start because he looks like he's the player who can actually do the job, because the others who are normally starting can't. So although Anthony's out, I'd rather Amad got fit than Anthony get back into the squad, if you get what I mean. So I can see that. So yeah, it does hurt us, obviously, when you've got most of your first team out. At the same time, we've seen some, as you just said there, as Curtis just said, we have seen some good performances. Hannibal didn't do, he didn't put a foot wrong too much. He put his foot in everywhere. He showed the grit and determination you need, and he played some nice, tidy passes. Obviously, nothing special, but he did what what you hoped he can do, to just not look out of place in the Man United side, and he did okay. Evans, on the other hand, on the ball, always good, and I could see him making players go places and telling players where to go, and just looking like a captain. He just looked like he wanted to be a captain. Although obviously we know he's in his twilight years. We know he's going to get done every now and again from different things. But look at that pass, left foot. This is what I said when we went in for Maguire in the beginning. Why are we getting him? Why don't we just go and get Evans back instead of him? And this is what we can see. The quality of pass, that's a goal. One ball straight over perfectly onto his foot. Bang, goal. We needed that. We got it. So, yeah.
So this one from Curtis, midfield, no running back or forward. I think we can agree with that. Too many ball watching. I think we agree with that. 15 minutes, we look lost. Rashford, this is a bit I want to get to. Rashford needs time to gel with Højlund and not be so selfish. Now, we disagree about Rashford personally, because I don't think his job is what you think it should be. But I can agree with you entirely, and with yourself, Curtis, that his decision-making in the final third to feed the striker is poor. There's no question about that. So you mentioned that for you, Rashford wouldn't want to be a player that you wanted to play with if you were a sole striker. Would you mind just expand on that a little bit for us? What do you mean exactly? Like, what is he not doing for you as a striker that he should as you're the striker on the left wing that he should be doing to make him gel with Højlund?
Right. So if you look at, I'll give you the point where I'm looking at another player, Saka. He's on the right side. Rashford's on the left. When Saka's on the right, he's a goal threat and he's an assist threat that I know what's going to come. So I know he's going to strafe dribble his man, take it down the line, cut back and put a nice ball in for me. So I can time my runs. Oh, he's going to cut back. Oh, he's going to put the ball in that danger area. So I now can go full pelt for that ball with quality right into where I want. Even if he takes him with his right foot and takes him down the line, he's going to put that ball, flash it across the box. I know to get across my man. I know exactly what he's going to do if depending on what the defender's going to give him. So he decides what he's going to do based on what the defender's going to give him. Turn it to the Rashford side now. Rashford, he does whatever. So then you're looking at him going, is he going to pass me? Is he not going to pass me? Is he going to take it down the line? He's not really going to cross it because he doesn't really like his left foot. Okay, he's not. And when he does, he's not going to, I don't know what he's going to do, if you get what I mean. And he doesn't know what he's going to do. So it's a bit like, I don't know when to make my run. I don't know when to link with him. I don't know anything. Okay, he has a nice little link-up play with Martial. He loves to play with Martial. They always link together well. That was nice. That is a part that I do like about him. But in terms of being that wide man who can be there, a provider and a goal scorer, it looks like Thingy's more understanding of what his job is, if you get what I mean, and understanding of exactly how you get things done so you can be cohesive with your other teammates. That's the most important part. Be predictable for your teammate so he knows how to link with you. And I don't think Rashford does it as well. He's a player who gets his goals, also gets his assists, but you know what I mean? It's a different kind of feel.
No, I know. Obviously, I come at you with the stats about assists and everything, and I know you mean stats ain't everything. On paper, it looks fine, but I know what you're saying because that's how I played. I never knew what I was doing either. Like so I'm now sort of realizing what you're saying, because if you're as a striker don't know that when he drops a shoulder, he's going to cross it or try and dribble past the man, you don't know when to make your run. You're offside. Is that some of the problem with Højlund at the moment? Looking a little bit. It's 2 games. I'm not getting too much, but he has looked a little underwhelming in the 2 games thus far. I feel like his runs aren't exactly what I want, but now you're explaining it like that, I can see why maybe, if he isn't getting the service he needs from Rashford. So that is a fair point. Curtis is giving us everything today. I'll tell you what, it's taking the comments for me, mate. I love it, Curtis. I agree with this. I don't think you do as much. Huge miss from Anthony not playing. I think even though he doesn't give us any end product, I do believe that his defensive work and his taking men coming over to track him and watch him is a huge miss from this team. Yeah. But for you personally, you prefer and it's not just Ahmed, but a more traditional winger out there that's actually going to take a man on to the byline and cross it in. Is that more what you mean there about how you'd rather Anthony, you'd rather Ahmed than Anthony?
It's tough because Anthony, again, we're going back to this thing about every one of them players is missing something that the other one has. It's annoying. Yeah. It's just so annoying. You got Anthony who has the defensive work. He has the work rate going forward. He actually gets himself into good positions to get shots off when he gets past the ball. But then his finish is poor. Can't take his man on. When you're playing football, moving the ball left to right to get him isolated with his man to then do something, that's not Anthony's game. So it's not nice. There's no point to it. But he does give you so much of the other stuff. And it's like, it's teasing you because you're so close to the finished product, but he doesn't have the finished product bit that you need to really be the man. And that's what kills him off. So that's why when I look at Sancho, I think, right, if we have a nice system where people are popping and moving quickly and then people are running and you got runners off him, or when he runs in a direct move, someone finds him, he'll be all right. But then we don't play that kind of football. We're trying to get to that level, but we don't. So then we're not using him to his best. Plus, if we lose the ball, he's not as good as Anthony defensively. Then you move on to Ahmad. Great timing, great passing. In terms of press resistance, the best of the lot. Timing of cutting in. He's got the similar type of timing that I see Saka having. But obviously, he needs to be better. Obviously, he needs to play more to show that. But I can see that in him. So then I'm thinking, would I rather have that and then maybe lose a bit of the defensive? Or do I just stick with Anthony, who you're just going to be frustrated with, but you've got more defensive work that's going to stop you getting goals against? Same what I was mentioning yesterday. I will mention it quickly then. on the Reguilon situation.
I wasn't even going to bring up, but go on.
No, but it's this is my point. When I watched these two guys, I was talking about Shaw and Reguilon, and in terms of going forward, the type of football that I want to see, what I want to get onto the end of balls, I think Reguilon has a little higher quality when it comes to the crossing and the front-footedness about his game, getting it punch, move, I'm off quickly. Like he's off, he's trying to get forward very quickly and trying to do things, link up with people and get by. Sure, he's a little bit less of that, but he's much better defensively. If you get what I mean, he's much stronger. Yeah. You're going to come up against one-on-one, you're going to look at him and go, yeah, you're going to stop someone like Salah, for example. Reguilon, I wouldn't be confident that he's going to stop a Salah. He's not going to stop the big boys defensively, but attacking-wise, he's got something there that I'm like, that's what I need. But you know what? I can't play you because Shaw's better than you defensively, and we're going to get hurt too much defensively if I play you. So then do we go to a 5 where he then is the man who can get up and down, and then your Shaw's behind him? What do you do to really make the most of the good that we have and then the weaknesses in every single player, Garth? It's annoying. There's so many players who have it.
I see what you're saying. Like every single one of them, like Reguilon's great going forward, but no defensive. Shaw, great general round player, but nowhere near as good as. Like, I'll give you this. I know we had a debate about it yesterday. I'll give you that. Yes, going forward, like a straight attacking fullback. No, he isn't like Reguilon. He's a completely different player. So I see where you're coming from. To be fair, no matter what I say in the group chat, like about every player's got great things about them, and then they let us down somewhere else. But again, I mean, honestly, Curtis, mate, you read my notes today, mate. I'm sure you've read my notes. Is what I was going to ask you. Casemiro looked a little bit better yesterday with Scott McTominay screening and shielding for him. So is it that his legs are gone? Or is it that we're playing him as a single pivot and that was never really, he was never fast, let's face it. So is it legs are gone? Is it he needs a man next to him? Or a bit of both, do you think?
100% a bit of both. And remember, we're playing Burnley as well in terms of if they were to score that goal, and then if they were to, with their 63%, whatever it was, of the possession, were to create more chances, then we've probably been looking at it going, Casemiro's legs are definitely gone. But it's Burnley. So with all the possession, they didn't really create too much because they don't have that sharpness. Until Benson come on, I was like, I don't want to see Benson on the pitch because he's going to do bits. And I like him. I told you, he's someone that I pointed out from last season when we played against him in the cup. I'm like, wow, this guy can really do bits on people. And he got some good shots off as well. So until he came on, they didn't look too dangerous, if you get what I mean. Okay, the other winger was really fast, but he didn't really create a lot. And then when Benson comes on, he does his bit. So the point is if they really had a bit more about them, would we be saying the same thing? We have to judge this Casemiro legs gone or not, or isolated or whatever, when we play against a proper team, because every team we played that have been proper, he's looked like his legs are gone. So I'm saying I'm going to be sticking with he's not so quick. He's got a little bit slower than last year when we already knew he was not fast then. Yeah. And at the moment where we got so many injuries, so it's not really helping that he's out of form. We've got so many injuries, so we're nowhere near playing well enough for him to bring us up to the levels we need to. So again, it's just like a few things on top of each other that have caused him to look even worse than than that 1 year older feeling.
Yeah, I'm not quite at Matic syndrome yet, but I can't argue. I can't argue with you. You know, I mean, realistic because of the performances we've seen against, like you say, the big boys. Apart from the fact that our team has been decimated with injuries and we look weak everywhere, and he's getting left alone, isolated. But even last season when that was happening, he still seems to have a little bit more about him to get back and get them tackles in. It looked better yesterday, I will say, and he's still one of the best players in our team for passing. And weirdly, for a defensive midfielder, goal threats from corners, because he's not that tall either. You know what I mean? No, like he's definitely like, I'm guessing you're going to say, look at you nodding like just like me. Like he's not 6'4" is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying he's small or anything, but it's all about the timing, isn't it? There, like you say. So, Curler's agreeing with you again here, mate. Basically saying Rashford can't seem to play Holland in a fight at the moment. We agree. I think we both agree with that. It does feel like
man will take a shot, but if you look along the line, Holland has made a run.
Yeah. And that, trust me, I say I was winger, but I was basically like an inside forward second striker, and I used to hate that when another midfielder was saying, I've made the run. They're like, oh, yeah, no, mate, no, I'm just going to play it this way. I'm like, there's all the space in the world. It's a slide rule. You can make this for me, fella.
Absolute killer.
We've got here, J Sports. I was loving the crosses from Reguilon. He has amazed me in his appearances already. Fair play. I mean, look.
Going forward, really good, really good.
Yeah, good going forward. I don't think defensively he's that bad either. It's the lightweight situation, isn't it? Yeah, he looks weak, shoulder to shoulder thing, and I think this is what you're talking about. Like the big boys, the Salah. If you can't defend shoulder to shoulder in the Premier League in a back four, you're in trouble, ain't you? Realistically.
Yeah, I've just mentioned that. You see, like Salah will be licking his lips coming up against Reguilon defensively. You know, I've seen him. It's like he's got his tail wagging. Salah. When he comes up against them little teams, he's like, I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to kill everybody. I'm going to get 3 goals in this game. That's the kind of feeling that you have when you play against a regular. That's the type of feeling that I said to you I would have if I'm playing against Maguire, for example. That's why I know that I don't want him in my side, if you get what I mean. Because he's got that feeling of, hey, fill your boots today, lads. You know, fill your boots. You're up against Reguilon. He'll get forward. Not only that, one-on-one, you can take him. So I'll be a bit like, oh, that's not nice feeling. And that's how you know when you're a good team. Like you've got a good side. Because in your mind, you say, I wouldn't like to come up against him, would I? You know, okay, Varane, he's pretty quick. Can't really do him for pace too easy. Keeps the ball really well. Don't make mistakes. How can I do him? I have to be really, really on my game to get a chance. But then you think about someone else. You say, Evans, great on the ball. He's getting older now, though. So, you know, if you can get a chance to get at him, please do, because he doesn't got the legs that he used to have. But his position will be good. So it's not often that you catch him out of position. So that's the kind of thing you're going to say with him. So this is what I'm kind of saying. You can do your kind of your research on your own players and what you would say if you was playing against them, and then you'll know how good you are. So, you know, that's the way I look at things.
No, it is fair. It is fair. Colm O'Brien. According to Madrid fan, I guess it's Casemiro, obviously. According to Madrid fans, he always started slow for them too. That's why, anyway. Last season, again, I do agree with this. Last season, he started slow.
Yeah.
But I think for both of us, Nathan, again, you can comment on this. It looks like he's a little bit slower than last season, no matter what fitness, whatever it is. He doesn't seem up to speed here, does he, at the moment? So,
yeah, he seems like he's. When people were saying he came back fat and stuff, I was like, nah, this is the same. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? And then he played, and I'm like, what's happened to Casemiro? But the thing that was really more surprising was his passing was gone. I'm like, he's making mistakes, giving the ball away all the time. I'm like, but that's not Casemiro. What are you doing? Like, there's one thing being not fully fit and ready, but you can't lose your ability to pass. What's going on? So, yeah, that's the bit that was really surprising. But, look, he's starting to get a little bit better with the passing. Hopefully, the other players who are coming back now, hopefully we'll start seeing players coming back. Not more players getting injured. Because, like, yesterday, we lost Reguilon through a hamstring injury. He wanted to play while ill, and he's now, you know, paying the price for that. And then Evans looked a little bit like he might have picked something up. Hopefully not. His face looked like he was like this a little bit. Hopefully he hasn't, because then we're going to be down to even less bones. Like, we only got a couple bones left. So we're finished.
In fairness to Evans, mate, I mean, I'm 3 years older than him, 4 years older than him. I'll be making that face after 90 minutes myself. So it may be just that he's a little too, you know what I'm saying? I'll give him that much. So let's get back into the game itself. For me, and it felt very much like we are lost on the pitch. The system that Erik ten Hag's trying to implement is not working with these players. Now, from a professional's point of view, do the players start talking to each other like, this isn't working and he ain't changing it, this isn't working, and that starts sowing dissent, and then you start doing worse? Do you see where I'm coming from here? Can this happen? Because it does feel like something's not coming from something's lost between the training pitch and the first team match squad, is what I'm trying to say at the moment.
Yeah, when you look at it, we did notice a major change in the way he brought our team to play from when he first come in. We started playing a bit better football. We you know, he made players make positioning for to be an option for each player and make them runs and try and be a bit more proactive. That was there. It's just we didn't have the quality to make it really count at them higher levels, like real consistency levels that you need to be. But then this season's come and we've brought in a few players and we've added them to the mix. But then we've had a poor preseason. You know, we know our preseason's been poor. We gave everyone 30 minutes here and there. You're playing the youth team. You're traveling miles and miles every single day to play a game in different parts of America. That's just a joke. Playing 45-minute games, like, that's not going to get you fully fit and ready for matches. I remember, like I said before, I used to be part of that team who would always be in the starting lineups mind, if you get what I mean, the manager's starting lineup mind. So I knew what I had. First game, you play 45 minutes. Yes. Second game, you play about 60. Third, you might play 80, or you might even get to 90. Then on your fourth game, you might get to 80 or 90. Then when the first game of the season starts, you're still not ready to play at that intensity in that first game. So you might even, I used to get cramp in the first game of the season every year, like, because I'm going to try my best to get fully fit, but it ain't the same intensity as a league game. It really isn't. And this season, it looks like United, they all had 45s, 45, 60, you know, and that was it. Nobody really played 90 minutes. And then we started the season, we're playing rubbish, absolutely rubbish. And especially people like Casemiro, they're going to need the minutes. And even though we had all this time where we played all these games all last year, we did get a little bit of a break. We did get, 3-4 weeks off. So 3-4 weeks is what every team gets every year. We finish in May, to like middle of May, and we're back end of June. So, okay, you're kind of near the end of May. Then you've got a week or two till June, and then you're back near the end. So you've got like 4 to 6 weeks normally. Not 6 weeks. I wouldn't say that. I remember, and by the way, you don't just get time off. Your first 3 weeks or so, you're encouraged to play tennis, do swimming, do whatever. Don't just stop completely. Then you have to get back on your running schedule like 3 weeks before you go in. So then you're at a level that you can do the harder stuff. You know what I mean? So it looked like we came back at the level where you got to train when you're at home. That's what was the problem. Yeah. So, yeah. So United are just, yeah. So I don't know if I've answered the question.
No, yeah, it's more like that's what you're explaining well, what it's like pre-season and what it feels like. And I'm thinking this is what you're trying to say as well, is with the American tour and everything, they haven't had the pre-season they need to be fit enough to start the Premier League campaign. And they're now looking for match fitness in games. And that isn't good enough because you can't be having that. You know, I'm guessing that's where you're coming from. Is that about right?
Injured as well.
And then you get the muscle injuries, and people are asking about the muscle injuries, and that's blatantly what it is. Like, that's from the top level. Yeah, that's top level to bottom level. That is. Exactly.
You get fatigue, and you have to run. You get injured. Then not only this, now you haven't got to this level of fitness, and then you're injured, and you come back down a bit. Then you can get back up. You're already here, and you got injured. So now you're behind even pre-season. Now when you come back, you have to actually be here. You can't, because you're thrown back into the deep end, and now you can get injured again because you haven't had a proper pre-season. And even I remember years ago when Drogba said he had a bad season one year, and it was because he had no pre-season, and he came in, played, and he said, I didn't have a pre-season, and this has really hurt me for the rest of the season. I couldn't really get that stretch of games. You know, you're always playing catch up, and you're done. You're done. How are you going to stay out of games for a month? Like, once, he's back fit, but he's got to train for 3 weeks before I put him in for 30 minutes in the next game and this and that. It's not going to happen. You see how Sancho did it, where he had to go away and come back? They probably said to him, you're going away to start your pre-season. And then when you come back, you're going to have a few weeks where you're going to play some minutes here and there, like it's pre-season, and we're going to get you restarted again. That's what all our players seem to need now. They've missed too many weeks. So, yeah.
You can definitely answer this to Curtis' question here, because I know you're a big system man. Can we talk about systems? There is 14 players injured at the moment, and he's tried playing attacking football, but that was not backed with the players to suit that style. So any system at the moment would never work. I know, a big man about players suiting their system. So I presume you might agree with this, that we don't actually have the talent to play the system that Erik ten Hag wants. My question, though, is, should Erik ten Hag be taking a more proactive approach to changing the system to suit his players, or does he keep bowling through, keeping this system and hoping the players will match what he needs, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think he's actually gone and done that. You can see what he's done with the side yesterday. He went with a more robust side, that's difficult to beat, and he went with what he had. He's gone with a diamond for a reason. So usually when you got the two strikers, they get a bit wider and they're able to run the channels and then play into each other instead of staying close to each other all the time. And that's where you get your width for the fullbacks coming up and down, and then you get your wide men going up, and then the diamonds just moving everywhere and trying to, you know, keep things tight. And that's what he done. We haven't got the wingers to play right now that really going to make a difference. If Sancho was there, we probably would, but because he isn't, we can't. Amrabat coming back means we could probably get another defensive player in there. And then we could probably put Bruno back in the hole. That would be good. That would be nice to see. But yeah, I think he's doing that. And at the same time, Curles is totally right. That's what we had to do, and that's what I think he's done. And that's why we're not so good looking up front. We can't. There's no point trying to force Martial into a starting lineup because we know he'll just get injured. We might as well leave him in the background on the bench often, because you know what I said. We talked about it yesterday. What if everybody's fit? And I'm like, yeah, but that's not real. But anyway, if everyone's fit, Martial would start, because I think he's a better player than Højlund if he's fit and he's playing. That means he's fit and he's the type of with the player we know he is to be. He's definitely better than Højlund. But the point is he's not fit, and when he comes back, he's not sharp, so he doesn't look as good as but he did look good when he came out against Bayern. And but the thing is, it's just, we keep saying it. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna last at the moment, anyway. So yeah.
I kind of again agree with you exactly what you just said. Like he means last year here, he did revert last night. He did revert to how we played last year, and I think just exactly what you're saying. And yeah, I agree to some extent. I also think that there is a small part of Ten Hag, a big part of me. He's very stubborn. It feels like, and he's a man who he's a little old school in that he's like, you're a winger, you should be able to do all the job. Like specialized positions are not new, but they're the last sort of 15 years where it's like you're a you're a Rumador, you're a Mesiala, we used to be a centre midfielder in my day, mate. You know, that was it. So I do think that we've got a few square pegs in round holes at the moment. Yeah. For instance, Reguilon for me is a fullback that plays in the 5. I know it's bare bones at the moment, so we've got to play in there. But yeah, no, I agree. We're bringing it back to the old. The only problem I've got with it is, whenever, like everyone comes back fit, obviously, and my question was kind of Mount's coming straight back into this team. You can't drop Bruno. Realistically, can you drop Casemiro? Where are these players fit? Say again.
You put him on the right.
What, Bruno? Right, this is what.
No, I wouldn't put Bruno there. I put Mount there. If he's played there, what everyone says he has played there for Chelsea, then try him there. But I don't like him there. I don't even know. I don't like him. To be fair, I don't like him over anybody in his position. He's not over Bruno in the 10, and he's not a number 8 from what I've seen. So he's not gonna get in ahead of any of the players I know. So my starting lineups, my favorite lineup, if everyone's fit, you know, it's Onana in goal, Shaw, Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka. You've probably got Casemiro, Amrabat, and Bruno, and then you've got left side Rashford, up front Martial, and right side Sancho as it stands. Obviously, I want to see Ahmed come in and overtake Sancho, and I want to see Højlund come in and overtake a Martial because, like I said, and then you just want to add to that. But yeah, that's my kind of starting lineup that I think, if we had everyone fit, would be the best we've got.
Do you see your first, like, say everyone does stay fit, do you see that team challenging, not for the title, obviously, because it's Man City's league and everyone else is living in it, but do you see that challenging for trophies? Can you see that starting 11 taking on the best of the best and not embarrassing ourselves? Or do we still need major additions into that squad?
You know what? I got to tell you, I do have certain feelings about what we need. Like I said, for all how good Wan-Bissaka is defensively, I really want to see the Reguilon side of attacking from the right back. So I'd like a Frimpong or someone like that. Although Shaw's really good left back, very good left back, very good getting forward even, I would like to see more better fullback kind of ability, like a Trippier. Like, you know, we know Trippier. He is a baller. He's got techers, and you always can rely on him for free kicks, for corners, and for crossing the ball in. Like it's always going to be in the sixpence with the timing. Everything is there. I think at the moment we've got like 2 fullbacks where we're not at the levels of the big boys when it comes to that. You look in the midfield. Okay, the legs of Casemiro's going. Can we try and find a replacement for him soon? Because is Amrabat the one who replaces him or plays alongside him? We don't know. Okay, Bruno is in there, and then you put Mount in if Bruno's injured, whatever, that's fine. Then you go up front on the left, Rashford, no problem. We keep him in there. Højlund, I'm yet to see what he can do. I haven't seen a thing yet that tells me he's a top-notch forward. Like I do like his running. I do like his output in terms of work rate, no problem. But you know, when you see a player and you watch him for 90 minutes, you should be able to see little things about his game that you go, wow, oh my days, that's it. Oh, nice little turn there, nice little rip this, nice little skill here, or nice area, nice clean shot that. I haven't seen a thing yet when you say, oh yeah, that looks sick. I haven't seen anything yet. So I'm not going to say anything other than that. I haven't seen anything. So I'm not going to say he's a bad player yet. You know, it took me, 2 months to start talking about Anthony properly. I need to give him games because I know how I felt. I need to give him 10 games so I can watch him fully and know exactly what he's about. Because in them games, you'll know everything he can and can't do, and every type of shot he can and can't take, and every type of position he's going to get into, how he's going to do what he needs to do. And then I'll be able to say, yeah, as a forward, he's got this, he's got that. Do you need our full first team out there as well to make this, or can you see as an ex-striker, you know what you're looking for? You don't need the full team to complement behind him to make your assessment on this. You don't need. Yeah, to know how good he is as a football player, you don't need that. Because for me, like even when who was the winger who came, Di Maria, he came to United, and he was a baller. Yeah, he was a top baller. Even you could see straight away the little bits and pieces he was doing was sick. And then I just realized we just don't have the whole squad there yet to make him really be the player he is. Because if we did have someone on the left killing it while he was on the right, for example, and have a proper everywhere else where people had to really think about everyone else, then he would be able to do what he's doing even more. But we still saw the ability of him, that dink, that flip. Yeah. You remember the dip over Leicester keeper, I dinked it over Schmeichel. Yeah, it was sick. Like lovely. You see them little amazing things. Even when we had what's his name on the left, we got him in, the young boy Dutch player, Memphis. Yeah. Oh, Memphis Depay. Yeah, what a letdown he was in the end. But anyway, sorry. Yeah. But the point is he had some techers about him. He had little things. You go, yeah, that's nice. But let's see you do more. But there's that's nice yet. If you get what I mean. About thingy. So let's wait and see. I saw Ahmad straight away. I saw it straight away. I was like, seen that. That's it. Yeah, we are. So we're all on the Ahmad train. Let's hope he gets fit quick. Curtis again, is ETH stubborn or basically want players to adapt and give up? I think it's the second, mate, personally. And I think that some players need to be able to adapt if they want to survive in this 10-arc team. I don't know if you're agreeing with that, Nath, there, mate. So Sancho needs to adapt. Yeah, he needs to be able to play better off the ball defensively as well. But again, if he was given the numbers going forward, you can go, you know what? I want him in my side because he gives me that going forward. But at the moment, he doesn't do as much better defensively. And this is the difference that we have in it. If we were a free-flowing goal-scoring team and Sancho was getting goals, he'd be playing every week. But since we're not, and then he's not that good defensively, then Sancho ain't playing every week. So if you talk about in a Man United side, Anthony needs to play because we need to be strong defensively, don't we? Yeah. And that's what's weird. An attacking player needs to play because we need to be strong defensively. That says it all. Anthony to me now, like I go on Football Manager positions. He ain't an AM right. He's an M right. He's a midfield right, literally. Like what I think they used to call him halfbacks. You know what I mean? Like he's like a right-sided centre mid, like RCM. Yeah, almost. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's mental. Considering we all thought he was coming in as an absolute like baller winger. What's Jay Scott here? I think the big away games, I'd put Bruno on the right. We need to be more compact and solid in the middle to gain our confidence back. What do you think of Amrabat, Casemiro, Maino as the three with Bruno on the right? What are you feeling on that? That's a very defensive middle three there, Nath. The only thing is, like, we've seen like a couple games of Mainu. Like we don't know what he really.
I don't know.
So
Yeah,
I can't pin my hat on him saying he needs to start and needs to play all the time. Like he did do well. He does look promising. I do want to see him play so we can see if he can handle it. That's great. But I'm not gonna. This is the one thing that I don't like. Do you see people moving De Bruyne out of position every week? Do you see the Odegaard getting thrown on the right wing, left wing, centre back, centre mid, whatever? No, because as he does his position, keep Bruno in the hole. Like, let him do his thing in the hole. That's where he got his how many goals, whatever. Okay, he might have played a bit further forward when he got all them goals for us at the beginning, but that's his natural position, and he's one of the best in the world at creating chances for people. So why move him somewhere else? Like, I know for us in our squad, damn right, he did do really well when we played against like the cities and that, when he went out on the right and we were struggling. But when we're struggling, we need players to fill in. But that shows that we got a problem in it. If a player is great in the cam, needs to get out of cam to help us because we're struggling, it means we haven't got the right players in that right position.
Oh, yeah. I think this was your you don't have an agenda against Mason Mount, but this was your problem with the signing to begin with. Why are we making our big transfer on a player that our best player already plays in that position? I think that's where you were coming from that, wasn't it? So, so I haven't got the graphics up, but we'll quickly go through player ratings for you, Nath. Onana, where you go? Yeah, it's a quick one. We'll just run through them quickly off the top of your head. Onana in goal. What are we giving him out of 10?
I liked him. He made a good save as well from that shot. And he made the angle tight for that ball to hit the post. So it did pretty well. I think he gave him like 6 or 7. He didn't really need to do too much, but he did make that save. So yeah, I give him high 6.
Yeah, that's about where I'm at. Dallo at right back. What are we saying?
Obviously he got skinned that first time, way too late challenge. But yeah, he's okay. Again, he's like a 6.
Yeah, there's a low 6 in it. Though,
yeah,
that one, isn't it? This is the thing with doing like just individual scores. They ain't the same 6 as Onana in any way, shape, or form.
Maybe a 5. I'll give him a 5. That's fair.
No, that's why 5 could be a little harsh. I know exactly what you mean. Like they're both 6s, but they're different 6s. So Regulon at left back. Yeah, exactly. Right, that's a 6.2 to a 6.8. You know, Regulon at left back for you.
Obviously, I've liked him. He didn't really put too much wrong yesterday. I think I'll give him a 7. I think he's a bit better than Dallo. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah. So good. So, sorry, alongside him. Lindelof. Sorry, do you know what? I was going through all the centre backs. I'm like, which one's left now? Lindelof at centre back for you.
He did okay as well. I think we didn't really make any major errors. So I'm gonna give him probably a 7 as well, maybe 6/7. Didn't have much to do. 6/7, 6, high 6.
Yeah, I think whenever a defender, you can't really remember that they've done anything in a game. That's usually a good, solid, average performance, isn't it? Because they ain't done nothing wrong, but they ain't done nothing right. The TNT Sports, as it is now, man of the match, Jonny Evans. Where are you putting his rating?
Yeah, look. The guy scored a header, and I didn't see nothing really wrong with that. I think the keeper would not have saved it anyway. Obviously, a keeper's going to be standing on. A player's going to be standing on the keeper. He's moved. The keeper ain't been upset. So at the same time, like, he didn't like impede his movement. He just went, "Oh, that's gone in. Nothing I can do about it." But I can see why they're giving it offside. But look, great header from a corner. Great ball in for Bruno's goal. Like, you can't ask for any more than that. Look very comfortable, left foot, right foot, popping it left and right. Even though it's simple stuff, it's the fact that you can use both your feet. And the way he was marshalling other players around, he was pushing players. I could see what he was doing, trying to keep everyone organized. And I think he played a high 7, like 7.5 even. Like, he's up. He did really well. So 7.5. I give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. Just quickly on Evans, like you said earlier, I see a lot of people like, yourselves, but like, he talks like a leader. He looks like a leader. Yeah, that's because he was brought up on a diet of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic and Sir Alex Ferguson and Paul Scholes, even the likes of John O'Shea, Wes Brown. That man knows, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's a great asset to this team. I'm slowly being proven right. I think you said the same thing at the time. Like, you'd have him over Maguire every day of the week. And this isn't Maguire hate, but you definitely would. So, Casemiro.
Casemiro looked a lot better than he was. Again, I didn't see him do anything where you go, "Oh, that's Casemiro, sick." Like, because Because before we were raving because he was doing bits for us. At the moment, he's like under the radar, not really doing a lot. So I give him a high 6 again, similar to the Onana kind of levels. I think giving him a high 6 will do the job for me, I think, today.
Yeah. Scotty too hotty. Where are we sticking McTominay on this list?
I put him slightly behind Casemiro. I think if you just give him a 6 as well, I think that makes sense. I didn't see him do much more than tackling players, winning the ball, and just passing it simple. Nothing really else than that. So yeah, 6 is fine.
The Hannibal Medri, how do we see? Because I know we can agree now that his overall performance was excellent, but there was a large chunk of that game for me, and I believe yourself, where he wasn't doing a lot. Like the last 20 and the first 20, he was excellent. But for me, anyway, so I shouldn't put words in your mouth. For me, anyway, where you put him on the rating?
Totally right, Garth. There was times where I was watching him going, "What are you doing? Like, what's going on there? How are you losing the ball there? Like, your control needs to be better that if you're going to be playing, lad." Like, trying to, you controlled it right into them and making a few mistakes. But I got to say, he done his job. He didn't look out of place one bit. He gave the energy and work rate that you need from a whole match, from any player. That's the levels that you need to give. So for me, I think he deserves a 7, a straight 7. I think he's right in that kind of position there. He did okay. He did all right. I liked what I saw, although there's nothing special there that I can say. He's a player that I just can't see what he will excel in, if you get what I mean. Like, is he a defensive midfielder? Is he attacking midfielder? Is he just a CM? What is he? I have no idea what position he really is. And also, there's nothing in his game that makes me say, "Oh, that's what he is." He should be. I'd play him there. So if I'm edging towards a position for him, it'd be like just CM, like a Herrera position or something. I can't see him being attacking, and I can't see him really being that defensive midfielder who gets it, pops it around a lot. So yeah, I think
he's
got more attacking in his game, but again, it's a CM, isn't he? He must be just a CM.
Yeah.
Why was he playing in the cam role then? Like, what was he doing up there? So I don't know.
Well, that's what you touched on earlier, which is at the moment we are square pegs round holes. We're putting players wherever we can find a position because his energy is what I think really mattered yesterday, especially in that final 15 minutes when players' legs are starting to tire a little bit. He's youthful, isn't he? So, Curtis, again, the issue with Hannibal is lack of first team gameplay. When he settled in the passing was sharp and he looked solid enough. I think that's a fair assessment. Definitely.
Yeah. So 7's good. 7's good. He's up there with Evans at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly right. So Bruno, it felt like Bruno. We started as the diamond, but then we moved Bruno out to the right pretty quickly. But Bruno, what a finish, mate! Can we just quickly talk about the goal? We haven't mentioned the stunner. Mate, what apart from Evans' pass?
Straight away, I said that's that Cristiano volley against Tottenham. Bang! What a goal! What high level of technical ability you need for that. Ball over the top, coming straight volley right in the corner. That's what we're talking about. That's world-class finishing there from an attacking midfielder, I've got to say. And the ball was amazing as well. So for me, Bruno, he had an okay game. He didn't have anything special in his game apart from that goal. But yeah, that was enough. That was the changer of the game. So he's also getting a 7. I think around about look, he's got a goal as well. I'll give him 7.5. I'll give him a little bit better than Hannibal, and up there with the Evans. I think he's in similar levels to Evans.
I think when you get to Bruno, the problem is Bruno haters is the wrong word, but people who don't rate Bruno as highly as I do, they only pick out his mistakes, of which there are a few every game. He's that type of player. They've always existed. The mercurial, the rumor door player who just does what he wants, basically. And will. And you can put it like, you want to be generous, you can say the other players ain't on his wavelength. If you want to be harsh, you can be like, he's a ball waster. So we've got to put up with that for moments like that. Because you're saying Ronaldo, I've seen it compared to Van Persie's goal. It ain't quite that good.
No, not like Van Persie.
No, there's not getting twisted.
Ridiculous. That's the best goal, one of the best goals ever. I don't care.
But it's got shades of it, I can't see the shades of it. Obviously, long ball over the top.
Cristiano one, surely, right next to Cristiano.
So you've got to be, you've got to be a top player. I think that's what you're saying there, to be able to just pull that off, whatever. So Carrie Skates, if I've butchered this name, I'm very sorry. Carrie Skates, sorry, Carrie. As I said, if I've butchered it, I apologize. Many complain about Evans. I was happy with him for backup. Just didn't think he'd be playing the league games. But he is just where he is at the moment, backup, because we've got no one else there. So, and he's doing a good job. And he's already proving that, for me, I've got him above Lindelof as third choice centre back in his team. I don't know about yourself, Nathan. And I was saying that before we saw his performances.
He's edged it, yeah. He's just edged above him from that display there, showing that he's got a goal threat. He's got that. He's got more of a leadership quality to his game, and he's comfortable with the ball, much more comfortable than them as well. The only thing is Lindelof's got a little bit more pace because he's a bit younger than him. So that's the only part that you say, okay, well, you know, if we play against a team with a bit more about them, will we get exposed a bit more? And the thing is, you got both of them in there. So it's a bit tough to play with both of them in there at the back. But look, they're my first choice from who's fit as well. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I also think Lindelof is one of those centre-backs that plays a lot better. We've had this conversation, I think, a lot better when he's got a Varane next to him than a Martinez, because then his role changes. So, Curlers, mate, Evans above Maguire and Vic says a lot. So does the fact, I think it was Azif in the group word it saying that what you really got to think about is our best defender on the day was a man we released 8 years ago because he wasn't good enough for the
ridiculous.
Carrie, slight bias being Northern Irish as well. That Nathan agrees with you entirely. Should never have been sold when he was. I think we can both agree on that now. Yeah, it was him, Smalling, and even Rojo. As we go through the players that we've had since then, were all better than Maguire realistically in the long run. It has to be said, and that's not me. Maguire isn't good baller. He's just out of his depth at Man United. So we're on Fernandes. So Rashford left wing out of 10. Where we going?
Yeah, I think he gave us a bit of an outlet out there, although it didn't really come to much. You know, you do want to see when he gets on the ball that amount of times, for him to get some more shots, more clear chances made in a 90-minute game, like one clear shot, one clear chance made at least. He did look quite lively. He did look more lively than, you know, some games you just really frustrated with him. So I was more happy that, you know, I said at the end of the game, I think he played okay. I'd put him in the 7, just on the 7, right on 7. I think he done okay. He didn't do as good as Evans and Bruno in terms because Bruno got the goal that put him above. So I think he's right on the 7, right on that 7 line.
6.97. I think you're there. So Højlund, where it's a difficult one, I think, because he isn't getting the service he deserves, etc., etc. But just on the performance alone yesterday, what are you giving Højlund?
To be fair, it was underwhelming. I wanted to see more about him. When he even got on the ball and he dragged it and shot a tame shot wide side netting of the goal. You know, he shut people down quite well. Got into good areas. He should have scored that goal as well when it flashed across the box. I don't know how he let it go through his legs or under his leg, whatever it was. That's your bread and butter. You've got to get them goals. That ball's coming across you. You got there and you missed it somehow. So that was just a bit poor. So at the moment, I'm like, okay, we spent all that money. But I'm looking at him going, you know, I always try and do it to myself. Yeah, I do it. I don't care what anyone says. I look at him and I say, am I better than you? At the moment, I feel I'm better than him. And I don't want to be better than my Man United boys who are supposed to be going for Champions League. I'm like, I want to go, yeah, you're much better than me at that. Yeah, you're a baller. You can do that. I can't see anything yet. No. He's faster.
So the question is, Dave, though, you still got an agent, mate. You know what I mean? Can you get on the phone and say, because you're a free agent, mate. Just, you know what I mean? I presume you got to pay a little fee to get back on the book site.
Mate, I can't even look at a ball, mate. I'm done. Every time I train, I get injured. I'm training with the team. I got injured last week training. The next day, my groin's feeling it, and I can't move. I cough, and I can feel my groin. I've had 2 operations on my groin. I'm finished. That's
what I keep thinking I'm going to go back and play rugby one day, and then I see the size of these blokes now. I'm like, my spine would compress like a slinky if I try to tackle one of these. So, no way. Give the gaffer, Eric Ten Hag, out of
10. Look, we won the game, clean sheet, 1-0 with the team we've got. You had to put a team out there that was going to do the job. He didn't go with who probably everyone would have. If you look on the bench, there's some players you probably thought, oh, he didn't start him. You know, so he's gone and done the job, put it on a 4-4-2 diamond, and we won. So, end of the day, he's got to get a 7. We didn't play that well. Look, They kept the ball for 63% of the time. They outplayed us, to be fair, but we looked the more dangerous side because we got more about us going forward. That's the only reason why. Because if they were a Brighton forward line, we'd be touched up again. So it's one of them things that we need to sort ourselves out for the next few games.
Carrie, we agree with you entirely. We said exactly that earlier on. Wasteful early on, and then definitely needs to be passed on to wingers. So we're all seeing the same thing from Rashford, and he needs to get that into his game quick time, especially with a striker like Højlund, because otherwise Højlund is going to be to his detriment, and you're going to get in more conversations like we're having now about him where he isn't doing enough. Curlers, just a side note on the interview, comments about how he was only allowed by 3 players. I wonder how long that rule has been used by the Glazers. Now many managers have addition. We'll touch on this properly when we do a full Let's Talk United. Yeah. But it looks like every manager under the Glazers have had this issue. We've got you've had comments from Louis van Gaal saying he was given 6th and 7th options in the transfer market, etc., etc. Just a quick question on this? Like I said, we'll touch on it properly later on. Are you surprised at this, that I was only allowed to make 3 signings every summer under the Glazers?
Obviously not. You know, they said, listen, you've got 3 signings, and that 4th one is that little share that we have at the end of every year between us guys. So that 4th signing can't happen because we got to share our extra bit here. So sorry. And that's every year. That's what they were doing, innit? So, you know, it's annoying, but, you know, it's not. It's no surprise, is it?
Yeah, they got to pay Tom Brady's wages. You know what I mean? They need a new stadium for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's and finally, before we go, because I used to say I live with Kerr, it's not too many screaming for Hannibal and Gore last night, but we would have lost if both played. Scott has played for experience and legs. I agree with this entirely, and this is, I think, what you were touching on about Maino as well. It's all well and good saying that these kids are the next best thing, but at 17, 18, 19, they are not experienced yet enough to be playing altogether first-team football in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that, Nathan?
100%. Same like Garnacho, isn't it? Like we all know
exactly the same.
He's a good young talent, yet now players know what to expect from him. So now he has to switch it up. Has he got the ability to go, right, I'm going inside, I'm going down the line, I'm going to shimmy you, I'm going to give what you're giving and take what you're giving me rather than just try and do the same things. You know, when you're new on the pitch, people don't know what you're about. So then you could do them over and over again in that first game. But then there's now everybody doing their research on you. So then every game before there's a pre-match and there's a little briefing about every single player. Garnacho, he likes to do this. He likes to do that. So make sure you do this now. Stand up here, do this. And then it's up to you to now take it to the next level. So Garnacho's past stage 1. Can he pass stage 2 and become dangerous after people still know what he's all about? Let's see.
Let's hope so as well. Then gotta love it, Curtis. Coming with them all. The fight, if that transfer rule's been used with all manager, it leans into why this United side does not have a complete player in each position, as the Duke was saying earlier. I think we all know that. Bottom line is almost every single problem with Man United can have a parallel line drawn straight back towards the Glazers, maybe with a manager in the way here or a bad transfer in the way there, but it all goes back to the Glazers in the end, doesn't it? So, yeah. But that's gone for the hour. We've done a great show today. Thanks everyone in the chat for the comments, Curlers, Carey, Jay. If I've forgotten anyone, I do apologise. Make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with your friends as well. You know what I mean? Just send it to people. Don't even tell them what it is. Just like, boom, send them the link and make them look at our show. You know what I'm saying? So we get their numbers up. You'll find us on Twitter at the Duke or X as it is now. Sorry. We're all calling it X, ain't we? No, we're not. Find us on Twitter at Duke United Show. You'll find Nathan on there at Nathan and myself at Garth Lewis. Come and give us a follow. We'll have a good chat with you at any point of the day. And thanks everyone for joining us. We'll see you on the next Duke United Show. Peace out.